Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Dear viewers, today we are going to discuss about the Islamic banking. In this video, we will learn about the basics of Islamic banking, which include the objectives of Islamic banking, concept of the banking in Islam, guidelines of dealing in Islam in the context of the Quran and Hadith, Islamic banking, a success story, Islamic banking and Pakistan, distinguishing features, and the basic differences between the Islamic banking and conventional banking. So, viewers, first of all, we will discuss all about the objectives of Islamic banking. There is detailed list of the basic objectives of Islamic banking, but some important objectives are which include equitable distribution and circulation of wealth in the society. Every person has the rights to have the equal part in the wealth and needs to circulate as much as he can for the best of the society. Avoid all impermissible transactions. Means being a part of Islamic banking, everyone is liable to avoid all kind of transactions which is prohibited according to the Islamic principles, which include all type of riba like riba al-nasiya, riba al-fidl, gambling, and gharar. Gharar means transaction which with uncertainty. Promote participation based and asset backed financing and services. All financing and services will be strongly based on the participation with a backup of some really physical assets. Fulfilling the halal customer needs. So, all needs of the customers should be fulfilled by doing business through halal means, ensuring Sharia compliance in all the transactions. Every transaction will must be according to Sharia, that are the Islamic principles. Concept of banking and Islam. Most of the time, I am getting a question that can banking be Islamic? And my answer is yes. But if it is working according to the principles of Islam, so we can say that it is depending upon how we defining the term banking. If we are defining it in the context of Islam and strictly following the Islamic principles, then it is okay. But if we are calling it an institution that lends and borrow and working on the financial intermediary, so then it is a conventional bank. Now, what are the basics about Islamic banking or financing or dealing? We will learn in the context of the Quran and Hadith. So, what are the guidelines by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for dealing? As He mentioned in the Holy Quran, is Allah has permitted trade and prohibited riba. So, trading in Islam is clearly permitted, while riba, interest, is prohibited. Probation and commercial dealings. So, by this, we can understand that there are some probation in commercial dealing in the context of Islam. With the riba, which are of two types, riba al-nasiya and riba al-fidl, there is also probation on the gambling and gharar. And by gharar, we means the transaction with the uncertainty. Thus, Islamic banking system has a clear mandate to promote real economic activities by avoiding all the prohibited transactions. Hazrat Jabir bin Abdullah narrated a hadith that the Holy Prophet ﷺ said, "The receiver and the payer of interest, the one who recorded and the witness to the transaction, and said they all are alike in guilt. So, by this hadith, it is clearly mentioned that how strongly interest is prohibited in Islam. Even who is recording the transaction and who is as witness have the same part in the guilt. Islamic banking, a success story. Nowadays, more than 90 countries having Islamic banking. Approximately 50 Muslim countries, including Kuwait, United Arab Emirates, Dubai, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Malaysia, Brunei, and Pakistan, are practicing Islamic banking, while 40 plus non Muslim countries is also including that are USA, UK, Canada, Switzerland, South Africa, and Australia, etc. And most of the countries where banking didn't exist, they are also entering into the Islamic banking. And the new players include Oman, Tanzania, Djibouti, Singapore, Germany, Hong Kong, Russia, Ukraine. These all are the examples of new entries in the Islamic banking. The current status is of Islamic banking in Pakistan is in the shape of a proper legal framework. One can get a license and can practice Islamic banking is Islamic conventional bank, Islamic commercial bank, Islamic subsidiary of a conventional bank, Islamic banking division of the Islamic bank. These are the three main basics license under which a bank can practice Islamic banking. Islamic banking in Pakistan, there are six full-fledged Islamic banking banks in Pakistan, which include Mizan Bank, Al Barka Bank Pakistan Limited, Dubai Islamic Bank Pakistan, Bank Islami Pakistan, Burj Bank Limited, MCB Islamic Bank. To note, it is MCB Islamic Bank is a subsidiary of MCB Conventional Bank. Many conventional banks operating Islamic banking and branches, like Faisal Bank, is a conventional bank, but they have some Islamic banking branches. In the same way, Khyber Bank, Bank Al Falah, Habib Metro, Bank Al Habib, Standard Chartered, Suneri, UBL, HBL, NBL, ABBL, Askari, Silk Bank, Summit Bank, Bank of Punjab, Sindh Bank, etc. They all have their Islamic branches and they are practice Islamic banking in Pakistan now. Islamic banking in Pakistan, there is a huge network of Islamic banking in Pakistan. Like in Pakistan, there are 1,702 branches of Islamic banking. On the basis of assets, Islamic banking have a huge sum of 1,495 billion rupees, while on the basis of deposit, Islamic banks have 1,281 billion rupees. Growth rate since inception is around 35%. There are 35% growth rate. So the share of Islamic banking in the overall banking system stands at 13.5%. Now, what distinguishes Islamic bank from the conventional bank? There are some distinguishing features. So basically, there are three levels on the basis of which we can differentiate between the Islamic banking and conventional banks. Conceptual and socio-religious lenders means that Islamic banks never lends money to gain interest, and it cannot deal in interest and non-permissible industries or goods. The second one is business model and governing framework. So Islamic banking activity participate in the trade and production process and will run the operations according to the Sharia governance framework. The third one, product level implementation. Usually, as the products in Islamic banking are backed by some assets and involve trading or renting of assets and participation on profit and loss basis. Implementation is not just a mere change in the paperwork and term, but it involves having the right intention, the correct sequences of steps and timing of execution, clarity of the rules and contracting parties. Without a clear understanding of these differences, some people, even experts, tend to make a common mistake of equating Islamic bank as a just another bank with the mere change of the name. Basic difference between Islamic and conventional banking. Conventional banking and conventional banking, banks are usually lending money to the customers, and in return from the customers they get their money plus some interest, while in Islamic banking, banks normally give goods and services to the customers, and in return they get payments from the customers. The differences between the conventional and Islamic banking. In conventional banking, many lending entities involve riba, while in Islamic banking, partnership based on the profit and loss sharing and asset bank financing. Conventional bank charges interest, while in Islamic banking, interest or riba is prohibited and they are charging halal profit. In conventional bank, indifferent to the business types, they are investing in different type of businesses, while in Islamic banking they are investing only in halal businesses while avoiding the haram businesses and not financing to haram businesses. In conventional banking, money used as commodity and they charge interest, while in Islamic banking, financial activities are real asset backed products and they do not use money as a commodity. In conventional bankings, mainly the risk is borne by the customers, while in Islamic banking, they assume risk of the transaction according to the Sharia principles. And finally, to watch more effective and useful videos, subscribe to our channel, Power YouTuber. And thank you for